Would you urge the Liberal Party in its review to dump net zero? Do you think that would make the Liberal Party electorally viable?
To win an election, you've got to create a contest. And I've got to say that in all the contests I participated in, where we made climate change an economic issue as opposed to a moral issue, we did extremely well. In 2010, in 2013, in 2019, where we were prepared to fight the Labor Party on energy policy, we did extremely well in all of those elections. And in the end, what you've got to do to succeed from opposition is stand for things.
Okay.
Stand for things. Give the people an alternative that you are prepared to argue for. And our problem at the last election, Patricia, was not that we were too right-wing. It was that people didn't know what we stood for. And the last thing that we want is a wishy-washy Liberal Party that is on most issues indistinguishable from the Labor Party.
So do you think the Liberal Party under Susan Lee's leadership right now is getting a little wishy-washy?
Well, no, I think Susan gave a very good account of herself today at the National Press Club. I think today's speech was, in effect, introducing herself at a deeper level to the Australian public. She's got a wonderful backstory. I thought she handled the rather probing questions that she got from members of the media extremely well, and I am certainly going to give Susan all the support I can from the sidelines to be an effective leader of the opposition and hopefully a successful Prime Minister.
So how about the people who keep writing that you were behind Jacinta Jippers-Price's defection to the Liberal Party? Is that true?
Well, I think Jacinta can speak for herself.
I'm asking you to speak for you.
No, well, I'm Jacinta is her own person. The last thing you would want to suggest, Patricia, is that Jacinta is somehow someone else's puppet.
No, but you may have been helpful, Tony Abbott. You could have been helpful.
Jacinta is her own person. She has long wanted, as I understand it, to sit in the Liberal Party room, and I think she's a wonderful addition to our party.
You say, I'm just so fascinated by the language of people who say we were too right-wing. Well, a lot of people do say that. They've said it to me. They just said it, actually.
What's the evidence?
I'm not here to provide it, but...
But seriously, Patricia, to sustain a charge that the Liberal Party is too right-wing, you've got to have some evidence. What was the right-wing policy that we put forward? I mean, was it being pro-nuclear? British Labor is pro-nuclear. Biden's Democrats were pro-nuclear. I mean, was it opposing the Voice? I mean, 60% of Australians agreed with us in opposing the Voice. There is no evidence whatsoever going into the last election that the Liberal Party was too right-wing.
Peter Dutton didn't lean into some of these issues enough?
Look, I think it's a tragedy that Peter won't now get the chance to be the excellent Prime Minister that I think he would have been. And look, I think we should have fought harder on a whole range of issues, whether it was promoting our nuclear policy. I mean, the only way to get to net zero and keep the lights on under existing technology is via nuclear energy.
Yeah.
We should have fought much harder against Labor's unrealised capital gains tax. I mean, this is the precursor of a wealth tax.
Let me put this one to you. Every time Peter Dutton was asked about transgender issues, he avoided the topic. Is that the sort of thing you think he should have lent into and talked about?
But that's... So you can hardly accuse Peter of being too right-wing when he did his best to avoid some contentious topics. I mean, let me be absolutely crystal clear. As far as I'm concerned, there are two genders, full stop.
Right,
now,
but that is not, that wasn't Peter Dutton's view.
That's entirely consistent with respecting the rights of trans people, but you can't let the rights of trans people trump the rights of women and girls to their own safe spaces.
Let me ask you this. Susan Lee has put the party on notice. She's prepared to be a zealot when it comes to women. You famously only had one woman in cabinet. The world's changed quite a lot, you'd have to say. I think you probably should have had more women in cabinet, just saying.
And I agree with you, Patricia. And I would have had more women in cabinet had Sophie Mirabella not lost her seat. And as you would probably remember, I had quite a few very strong women in my orbit. And look, I agree with Susan that we do need to get more capable women into the parliament.
How about quotas?
Look, I'm very much opposed to quotas.
Still?
I think that quotas are fundamentally illiberal. I think they're contradictory to the merit principle, which should be at the heart of our liberal conservative philosophy. What you need is, dare I say it, targets with teeth, with strong mechanism to make them work. And certainly when I was Prime Minister, we had a target to have 40% females on government boards and bodies, and we achieved that.